What is going on, everybody? We are here for another episode of Actual Cupcake Unedited. That's me. I'm Joel Cupcake. What the fuck is up? Today, we're talking about sports. Sports. I watched WrestleMania a couple weekends ago. Forgot to bring it up on here. For those of you who aren't paying attention, obviously all the major sports have been canceled or were canceled earlier. I know there's been loose discussions about like football and hockey coming back and like some of this stuff. There's been these discussions on empty arenas or, the bands or, not bands, sorry, the teams playing live and it just being streamed and it's only on cable and that's it. Well, AEW and WWE both have still been doing wrestling up until, they have like a couple more episodes left each, and then I think they're kind of whatever. But they're doing like it with an empty space. And let me tell you, fuck that. WrestleMania was like, some of the matches this year weren't that good anyways. Like, WWE's kind of fallen off over the years. But like, regardless of that, like, holy shit, the no crowd thing. There were some good matches, some wrestlers I was looking forward to watching because, I'm a wrestling fan, Undertaker had like a great like cinematic type match. So did Bray Wyatt. I obviously will always watch Becky Lynch. She's great. But just like hearing them talk shit to each other with it echoing in the room and it being nothing and like, you can audibly, like, you can tell the announcers and the wrestlers hear each other, and it's just like shit's echoing. And thankfully, you didn't really notice anybody like calling their spots, like telling the other wrestlers what they're gonna say or what move they're gonna do next. But like, you can hear their in-ring shit talk, and it's like they try a little harder at it, and it's just not good. AEW's been doing it a little different, where they have some of the other wrestlers is like out in the crowd. And so there's still like some of that funny interaction and stuff, and their presentation seems to be a little bit better. But at the end of the day, it's just like, it is not good. There's like thousands of sports people at this point in time that have tested positive. Anybody with like a pre-existing health condition, as they've already said, is just like no bueno at all. So like, I'm a huge hockey fan. That's my number one sport, even over wrestling. Part of what it is like the crowd gets riled up when somebody fucking knocks the shit out of somebody else, or when that goalie pulls off like the clutchest save. But like, I don't want to see that in an empty building. Like, you're not going to hear the intensity. Like, it's not going to feed and drive the players. Like, how are the players gonna feel? Like, holy shit, man. Like basketball as well. Like, it's so loud in those rooms, the intensity, the feeling. Like, all the sports really. It's not. I could go down the list if I really wanted. Definitely helps. Baseball I feel like is the one that would probably be the least affected by crowd interaction. But baseball is also the one that usually, them and football require the most space to be played. So that's just like seems like a really bad purge of money to not do it that way, to like not have live people. So, and that's like, if you cut the rows where it's like, everybody has to be 3 seats separated unless they all live in the same household or some bullshit. Like, I don't know what all these fucking companies are going to do. Trump had a meeting with like the heads of the different sports companies the other day about like how to progress forward. The NHL draft just happened. AEW operates in Georgia. They, I know, have some episodes filmed out, and then they're not doing any more live stuff until this calms down. WWE, most of you know the name Vince McMahon. He paid the state of Florida like $13 million or some shit to be deemed an essential business. So they're still going to be kicking. They're going to be the only sport. I saw a funny meme that was, growing up, everybody always told me wrestling wasn't a real sport. Well, right now, it's the only sport. It was good. It's true. Check this stuff out. There's a couple podcasts that like reviewed WrestleMania and all that stuff. If you want to get into more details, I'm not gonna sit around and do that. That's like, it was 2 days this year, 3 hours a night. Like, there was some good shit on there. Like, you always get goosebumps when you hear the Undertaker's music. Except this year he rolled up on a bike, basically like a la the American Badass, and we had no Kid Rock and no Limp Bizkit. I'm pretty sure it's like some shitty watered down new Metallica song is what we got for him to roll out to. I don't even fucking remember. So I was really pissed that there was no Biscuit or no fucking Kid Rock. But hey, I mean, what are you gonna do? But it's they found a way to make some of the matches work. Motorcycle. God damn it! I do this from home. Sorry, guys. Okay, he's gone. Anyways, yeah, the AJ Styles still is probably the greatest wrestler alive. He had a great story match with The Undertaker. They did like the cinematic thing, filmed in a graveyard, called a boneyard match. It was tight. It was, I mean, I was about it. It worked. Hockey's discussing doing this thing where like all the teams play in like 4 different arenas, 3 or 4 different arenas. And they're doing that, but that the arenas have to have, 6 locker rooms minimum so that there can be three games throughout the day that would be live streamed. Well, obviously on cable and all that, of course, but like you'd be viewing it live. But for them to have 3 teams in and out throughout the day, to sanitize the whole building is not very plausible. So they would have to have 6 locker rooms, 3 per team, or 2 per game. So 6 locker rooms for 6 teams for 3 games. So, they're talking about that. Nothing's been decided yet. I hope we get some hockey back. I'm a Sharks fan, obviously. We weren't doing too hot this year, so I'm not going to be that mad if it just kind of is a wash. But I would like to see the sport being played. That would be tight. I know a lot of teams had a lot of hurt players or questionable players. So at least everyone's getting some time to relax right now. So that's good. Everybody should come back strong. I don't follow football too much outside of the Niners getting robbed at the Super Bowl last year. That last touchdown was not a touchdown. NFL, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, the draft just happened. I am not caught up, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. I saw a bunch of tweets about cool prospects going to a bunch of different places. My friend, I got friends everywhere, so I saw some of my Dallas Cowboy fans were all hyped up about a few people, and now we got Gronk and what's his face down in Tampa Bay. So those cheaters can go have fun down there in Florida. I should check actually and look into how they're gonna do all that. But yeah, take my word for it. I really, really, really hope that they figure this out, because the no crowd thing is it's going to be weird. I know it's costing a lot of people millions and billions of dollars. Not that I really care about all those rich people, but like it sucks for the fans and it sucks for the players who can't really support their families as well. And it's affecting a lot of people, cable companies. It's even though it's less money in some rich people's pockets, there's still all the people that are the cogs in the machine that make it work. So bummer. Yeah, hope they figure it out. Let's see, shameless self-plug today. 2 of the bands I manage, The Ansible from Texas and Born Anew from New Jersey. Both their albums turned a year old today. Check it out. You can find both those bands on Spotify, etc. Pinup Productions has started doing a thing where we're trying to go through, in Southern California, we're doing the SoCal Spotlight twice a week, talking about a Southern California band. On Fridays, I'm trying to do more like throwback stuff, like from flyers way back in the beginning of Arsenic, all the way through like some of the bigger pinup shows, trying to talk more about like, memories and cool shit like that. We are also trying to do an emphasis on like sharing music videos of both past and present bands from our primary markets, which is, the 831 and the 408. So Santa Cruz, San Jose, and the generalized area. as well as, like, you know, obviously we have friends in the East Bay and bands in Fresno we work with and stuff like that. So we're gonna start doing more of that for like the NorCal shows and whatnot. Well, not shows, I'm sorry, the NorCal local bands. So I know our Facebook's been really dead, our socials have been dead. Just, you know, get back on track with those, pay attention. The next show everybody should expect out of us is the Heavy Lolo show. Has yet to be rescheduled. We all know it's probably going to. So yeah, there's that. Again, find me on Twitter and Instagram at Joel Cupcake. You can add me on Facebook, but I'm gonna, as I said in my last little intermission video thing, I'm not gonna be on there as much. It's a little weak. Just all the crap that's going on in the fucking world. So do that. Yeah. You know, looks like all the counties are making the face masks in public thing mandatory. So buy your face masks, do it. If nobody has a place you can get some from, go to No Coast Goods, look that up. No Coast Goods. Two of my best friends from New Mexico. They're just selling the blank cloth ones. They worked out a deal with their retailer. They're not upcharging very much at all. They're pretty affordable. Get those. Gloves are obviously hard to find, but yeah. Shit's crazy, man. Yeah. Sports. Check out WrestleMania. All the AEW stuff is great. Like I said, and like, let's hope they figure something out, because this empty arena thing is going to suck. Been another episode of Joel Cupcake Unedited.